Hey there YouTube, this is Krim the Godspeed Edge, and I'm here bringing you my deck profile on my Gishkis. Gishkis has been a deck that I've been kind of wanting to play since I saw them come out in Hidden Arsenal 5. I've always been interested in the ritualing summoning, so I tried out doing like the Relinquished and Tour Guide stuff. But this has been something really fun to play. It's been really nice. I wanted to figure out a way to play this deck now, before Hidden Arsenal 6 comes out. When Hidden Arsenal 6 comes out, the whole deck is going to change. But I finally found some kind of build that worked for me into actually playing this deck, in tournaments. Maybe you won't top, but it's very troll worthy and it has a lot of fun. So anyways, we'll begin with the 2 Gishki Soul Ogre. Soul Ogre has 28 attack, 28 defense. He's just really beefy. He has his little ability where you can discard a Gishki from your hand and send it to the graveyard to target one monster your opponent controls that's face up and return it to the deck. He's level 8, so basically the biggest reason you use him right now is you use him as a beater, and honestly, he's not the greatest of all the rituals, but right now for what we have, he works. So you put him at 2. And then 1 Mind Augus. Yes, I only have 3 ritual monsters in a ritual quote-unquote deck. And we'll get to that in just a little bit. It gets a little complicated, but it'll make sense. Mind Augus, he has his little special ability where he can, when he's summoned, by a ritual summon, he's level 6, 25 attack, and when he's summoned, you can pick up to 5 cards from either your opponent's graveyard or your graveyard. You can mix and match, and you can send them back to the deck. So this screws over chaos stuff, light sworns, whatever, and it just likes to hate on them and hate on like dragons. And then you can take cards like, Dark Hole, Reborn, in this deck Salvage, and you can put them back in the deck to be reused again. So he's good. Alright, we go to the normal monsters for Gishkis, and you have 3 Shadow. And Shadow's special ability is you can discard him and send him to the graveyard for you to get a Gishki monster, a Gishki ritual from your deck to your hand. And then he hits the graveyard, he stays in your graveyard. His other ability is he can be used as the entire ritual tribute for the summoning of a ritual monster. Old ritual monsters had their little thing where, they can be used like relinquished as 1 or higher, or, 6 or higher. Well, Gishkis have to be exact. So he helps you just get on that mark. And I honestly don't do a lot of ritual summoning this deck without using him as the tribute. I just feel like it minuses too much. So you have him. You have 2 Abyss. He's your Stratos. He lets you search out for your Shadow with a Gishki monster that has 1,000 or less attack. 1,000 or less defense. Shadow has 1,000 defense, and then the Gishki Chain that we run in here is 1,000 defense. This card has actually become a lot better when Gustrake comes out, because Gustrake has 1,000 defense and he's real trolly. But anyways, that'll be for a different video. So he's good at 2. He lets you just start a lot quicker. What you really focus on is getting those shadows to really start things off. You have 2 Ariel, which allows you to search any Gishki monster from your deck when it's flipped. So it flips up, has 18 defense, and it searches for any Gishkis, even the Evigishkis, the ritual monsters, because they still count as Gishkis. And so she works, and she's a spellcaster, and she has it's okay defense. The stats of these cards aren't that great. The strongest 4-star monster you have, Gishki Chain. This allows you to pull the top 3 cards off your deck, look at them, and if you have a Gishki ritual or ritual monster, you can show it to your opponent and add it to your hand. Then you can put the other cards back on top of your deck however you want. If you don't have any, then you just, any ritual monster, you just pick. And you put them, and you set up your plays for later. And so he works I honestly like him. I'm not going to probably run him later on when you get more of the support. Right now, as an 18 beater, and as the fact that he allows you to check the cards at your top of your deck and prepare for the next turn, just for his normal summon, it kind of works, especially when you do Pot of Duality. You Pot of Duality first turn, you grab a card, then you summon him after the deck's been shuffled, and then see what kind of plus you can get off of it, and if not, just prepare for the next turn. And what's great is a lot of times it lets you prepare and see what you're going to have, and you can use Abyss in your hand to shuffle your deck if you don't like the cards that are coming up, or you can draw just one card and then that summon Abyss and stuff. So he works out really well, and he's okay at 2. And then you have the card that actually makes this deck alive, Gishki Beast. Gishki Beast, if you know about scraps, he's kind of like Scrap Chimera. Gishki Beast allows you to take a Gishki monster, level 4 or lower, and special summon it in defense mode on your side of the field. Doesn't matter attack points, whatever. And the best part about him is there's lots of different combos you can do, because you can exceed. We run a funny card in here, which we'll show in just a minute. But it allows for so many plays. You get to reuse your shadows with this guy. Put the shadow on field, use Aquamirror to summon your ritual monster. So he works out really well. So let's go to normal monsters. We have 2, Manju of 10,000 hand. If you know what he does, he allows you to grab any ritual or ritual monster from your deck to your hand when he's normal summon, flip summon, whatever onto the field. So he's good at 2. He allows you to go into the cards that you really need desperately faster. And he's been okay. I don't think he's going to run that well when the actual new cards come out, but honestly, you really need at least 1. I'm finding 2 is fine with me and works out really well. Then do we have, Gorz. Gorz is Gorz. Why wouldn't you play it? I don't understand why you wouldn't play it, if you don't play, continuous spells and crap like that. So Gorz is just there, and he's kind of like the boss behind the door. Your opponent's always expecting it, so you just play it to be able to stun your opponent just a little bit. As long as they know you have it, it makes for some fun stuff. And then the fun card, 3 Birdman. This card has completely made this deck ridiculously playable, just the way it is. And because Gishki Beast, and I'll go and take these off, Gishki Beast allows you to bring back, let's start Shadow. Shadow's in your graveyard. It allows you to bring back Shadow. Okay? Then you ally Birdman. You can ally Birdman, Beast back, sync for 7. This is since it's a Dark Tuner, it allows you to go into lots and lots of different things. You can do Black Rose. I run a Scrap Archfiend, Gunyear, different stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and show you them in a little bit. But it lets you reuse this beast. It lets you put shadows back in your hand. It helps a lot. It also, it's fun when you can just keep reusing Gorz. I actually had to troll somebody this last weekend with Gorz. So that was fun. But anyways, we have 2 spells. Of course, you have to run Aquamirror because, it's Gishkis. I only have 2. I don't feel that you really need 3. 3 is really dead. And you reuse them all the time. Its special ability is when there's a Gishki ritual monster in your graveyard and it's in the graveyard, you can send the monster back to the hand and put it back in the deck. Put the ritual back in the deck, and then you discard Shadow, get it. So it has its own little engine. It actually works really well, and so 2 of them works just fine. We have 2 Pot of Duality. This deck tends to special summon a lot, so I feel that running too many, I think 3 Pot of Duality is just too many. It's great when you start with it, but it then starts sitting in your hand dead because a lot of your plays are exceeding and stuff like that. So I think the 2 Pot of Duality does it for me, so I'm going to keep on testing that out, but I think that's where I'm going to end up sticking with it. Fun card, 3 Salvage. You're running waters, you're running low attack point waters. The only non-low attack point water are your rituals and your Gishki Chain. And it just lets you reuse Shadow, puts it back in your hand. It lets you feed into your hand for Soul Ogre's effect. You keep reusing Beast again, so this is fun. And one of the fun things is, you could just, when you summon Mind Augus, add it back to your deck. Why not? Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy, 2 MST, Book. And right now, I am testing out 2 Forbidden Lance. This is iffy right now. I was using Smashing Ground. I was using Trap Stun. I'm trying to figure out the best thing for this spot. I feel like it needed a little bit more, so right now the Lances are being play tested, and they seem to be working just fine. Trap cards. You have Solemn, Brigade, what people call it. So you have them. They're real helpful, of course. If you have them, play them. If you don't have them, spend the money on it. One Mirror Force. We don't run a lot of traps in here, and Mirror Force is a game changer, and I like game changer cards in here. For the new format, 2 Torrential Tribute. Right now, I'm playing the second Tribute as a D-Prison, and as soon as the ban list completely changes, I'm going to 2 Torrential Tribute. You need game changer cards. If something doesn't go right for you, you need to be able to change the game for yourself. That's it for the deck itself. It's 42 cards. I now will show you the extra deck. We have 1, 2, 3 Utopia. Why not 3 Utopia? Because, I mean, Gishki Beast allows you to just continuously bring out like 4s and stuff, and most of your monsters are level 4. So you're able to bring it out, exceed, and just kind of troll on them as much as you want to. So 3 Utopia. We have the single Utopia Ray. Why? Because, you know, why not? Utopia Ray is pretty, so you might as well run it. Right now I have 2 Steel Swarm Roach. This is iffy to change. I'm not sure if I want 1 Steel Swarm Roach. They're fine. It just depends what deck you're playing. If you're playing Chaos Dragons, you really do need this. So you at least need 1. But the second one, I don't know whether I'm going to keep it or not. But it's a rank 4. You can do a lot of stuff with it. You do run tuners in here, so Catastor. So that would be Birdman and Abyss. You know, use Gishki Beast to summon Abyss, ability, bring back, sync for Catastor, whatever. So Catastor, Brio, because why not? And then you run your slew of rank 7s. And let's go ahead and pull that out here, your combos for rank 7s. And the easiest one to show you is those 3. Alright, so you have summon Gishki Beast, Ariel's in your graveyard, summon Ariel. Okay, Ariel is a spellcaster. For those of you summon, Genex Birdman. Now you pick, first you would pick your target, but I'm going to just do it this way for, to show you this. Spellcaster, Beast. Now let's show you this synchros. 1, Scrap Archfiend, just because it's beefy. I want to do a second Black Rose instead of the Steel Swarm Roach, because Black Rose just changes games. So 1 Black Rose. And in this deck, you can create Gungnir, because it's water. So you would do that for Gungnir. You can make Arknight with that, which is ridiculous. So double popping, it's awesome. And you can do a weird thing making Z-Man the Ape King. Yay, Z-Man the Ape King. He doesn't see much play. He actually comes in handy every so often. You know, when he attacks, your opponent can activate magic and trap, spell and trap cards, whatever. And when a monster attacks you, you can target the monster, discard a monster from your hand, and then the attack's negated. He's okay, but you can play him. That's just the fun part. There are no decks that really play this guy, so it's just fun, because Gishki Beast is a beast. Anyway, last 2 cards. We don't have Trish anymore, and so I just play these because Stardust, Scrap Dragon. Scrap Dragon's my favorite synchro. He's amazing. He's beyond all reason awesome. And Stardust because he needs Stardust. And that's it for the deck profile. This is the way I'm running my Gishki deck. I'm still playtesting it, but honestly, it makes some very consistent plays, and the only problem it usually has is when your opponent has really high-level monsters on the field. I don't know if it's going to be able to keep up with the meta or not. I play tested it at my locals. I've been playing it for a couple weeks now like this and just messing with it. But it's a lot of fun, so if you guys want something random that's actually going to be pretty decent and work really well, because it works well and it's fun to troll people with, you really should check this deck out and try and see if you can make it work. This is it, Crim the Godspeed Edge, and my Gishki deck profile. And remember to rate, comment, subscribe. I'm going to see about putting more videos up now that my semester of school has started to get the way it has been. And I'll catch you later. See you, YouTube.